Next thing we're going to look at is taking odds and actually calculating a probability with it. So let me grab my pen again. So notice our problem says here the odds in favor of a horse winning a race are posted as 4-3. Find the probability that the horse will win the race. Okay, I'm going to look at longhand on this first example, and the next two we'll be able to tease out the answer without having to do that. So if we have odds in favor of 4-3, that means there is some fraction, 4 over something, over 3 over something, that comes out to this 4-3 that we have here. Okay, but what should those denominators, what should they be? We know they have to be the same thing, and we know they have to be the total number of occurrences that happen. So if that's the case, then this 4 and this 3 tell us a lot. Okay, this is how many times something can happen. This is how many times that it doesn't happen. So these should be the total of things that happen. And that was the last thing we talked about at the end of part 3, is about these numerators should add to make the denominators. So 7 is our denominator. So remember, the odds in favor, probability of A happening over the probability of not A. So these fractions are probabilities. So we want the probability that the horse will win the race. Well, that is this number, 4/7. So the probability that the horse wins the race is 4/7. Okay. And I need to move that. That's too close to our other question. So 4/7. Okay. Number 11. The odds in favor of Carl beating his friend in a round of golf are 9-2. Find the probability that Carl will beat his friend. Okay. Again, we know there's going to be two probabilities. Okay, this is for and this is against. Well, these two things have to add together to make the total. Okay, so that's going to be the case in odds. Those two numbers have to add to give us the total. So the odds is our first number. So 9 out of 11, or that probability. Again, if my math lab may ask for a decimal approximation of that, and that is 0.818. Okay, and that's certainly a possibility. So they may ask for decimals. Just take your calculator and do 9 divided by 11 to get that. Okay, now number 12, we put this here because it says odds against. Okay, it says the odds against Carl beating his friend in a round of golf are 9-5. Must be a different friend. Find the probability that Carl will beat his friend. Okay, well, we know there's two fractions again. There's a 9 and a 5. Okay, because this is odds against, this top part is against, and the bottom is 4. Okay, whereas in problem 11, it was 4 over against. And that's really the only thing we have to be careful of is it odds for or odds against? Well, this is odds against. Excuse me. So we want the probability that Carl will beat his friend. Well, we know these two numbers add to make the denominators in both of these. So find a probability that Carl will beat his friend. It's going to be the number down here on the bottom. Okay, so we want to be careful. Is it odds for or is it odds against?